Thank you, Madam Speaker. I present a bill titled Police Administration Amendment, Police Public Safety Officers Bill 2025, Serial 39, and table the explanatory statement. Madam Speaker, I move that the bill be read a first time. Madam Speaker, I present a bill entitled the Police Administration Amendment, Police Public Safety Officers Bill 2025. This bill is the first tranche of changes to operationalise this government's commitment to a significant law and order reform that will target antisocial behaviour in public places, on our transport network and around public housing. This government is revolutionising frontline responses to antisocial behaviour by consolidating what are currently separate government frontline resources into one centralised workforce. This workforce will be a brand new rank of police officer called Police Public Safety Officers. The Police Public Safety Officer rank will consolidate resources currently spread across various agencies, namely frontline police auxiliaries, including police auxiliary liquor inspectors, public housing safety officers, transit safety officers, and private security resourcing to provide a centralised and highly visible response to issues impacting public safety in the Northern Territory. The need for police public safety officers is directed towards the future of policing. The community is best served by having both experienced and highly trained police focused on criminal investigations, complemented by another highly trained cohort of police engaged in policing support and antisocial behaviour responses. The establishment of police public safety officers within the Police Administration Act 1978 will improve efficiencies across our bus networks, public housing assets and public spaces. It will streamline operations and consolidate workflows, providing a safer and stronger Northern Territory, aligning with the government's pillars of reducing crime, rebuilding the economy and restoring our lifestyle. Police public safety officers will be equipped with the same knowledge and skills through standardised training programs. This will promote uniformity in performance and delivery while creating a flexible workforce that can be deployed across the community to combat antisocial behaviour and safety concerns in a targeted and structured response. This bill is only part one of the necessary reform. This bill will simply amend the Police Administration Act 1978 to legally establish police public safety officers as a rank of the Northern Territory Police Force. This bill is a necessary precondition for the determination of relevant industrial relations matters, namely determination of eligibility requirements for applicants and determination of the terms, conditions and remuneration of the police public safety officers. The establishment of the police public safety officers is a key reform to reducing crime and restoring the Territory lifestyle. The government is committed to progressing this initiative for the benefit of all Territorians in a timely fashion. It is imperative this bill be passed on urgency to allow the statutory preconditions for recruitment to occur. It is expected that the recruitment campaign for the police public safety officers will commence in October 2025. This bill will be enhanced by a second bill to be introduced in next month's sittings of the Legislative Assembly. The second bill will be a more substantive bill that will make amendments to the Housing Act 1982, Surveillance Devices Act 2007 and Public Transport Passenger Safety Act 2008, necessary to reflect existing powers being undertaken by police public safety officers. I'm pleased to commend this bill to honourable members and table a copy of the explanatory statement.
The question is that the bill be read a first time. Those of that opinion say aye. To the contrary, no. Aye. I think the ayes have it. The clerk.
A bill for an act to amend the Police Administration Act 1978.
Chief Minister.
Madam Speaker, I move that the bill be declared urgent. And Madam Speaker, in speaking to that necessity for urgency, as I've outlined in my contribution this morning on the first reading debate, this legislation is very simple in its form and does not contain any of the substantive components of what a police public safety officer will do, their pay and conditions and all of those other things. It's necessary to simply establish the rank. And as you see in the bill, It is very, very straightforward. Under the Police Administration Act, that is what creates our police force. It is the legal document that creates a police force here in the Northern Territory. And so currently we have a Aboriginal Community Police Officer, Police Auxiliary, and then what this will do is add Police Public Safety Officer into the legislation. Now that would just be effectively the empowering tool for our police force then to go and conduct that really important work now for the formal component of consultation with the Northern Territory Police Association, which then works through all of the conditions. And as I said in my first reading speech, Madam Speaker, that will then allow for the resolution of all of those terms and conditions once that formal consultation commences, which cannot commence without this happening first. So we have to create the position first, then the formal consultation around all of that industrial relations and terms and conditions happens. Once that is finalised, we can then go out to recruitment for the position so that we can say to people, well, this is what you'll be paid and this is what you'll be able to do and all of those things that you would expect. We cannot undertake a recruitment campaign until we've got all of the details around the actual job itself. So you can see it's a very clear process. We've got to, 1, create the position, 2, undertake the formal consultation and land on those details. Then we can open up recruitment. We can get our first group through into the college and into their training and graduate them. And of course, we have a time frame in which we'd like that to happen. It would be fantastic to see our first lot of recruits this year and to start that recruitment in October. So time is of the essence. We don't want to delay what will be a really important piece of reform for the Territory. And we've already done extensive change management, of course, with our public housing safety officers and our transit safety officers. Our police did an excellent session a couple of weeks ago now for everyone to get more information about what that might look like going forward. And so that work has to continue in the background to support them through this transitional phase. But what we know is that we have had a significant number of people expressing interest from both, within government and external, looking to move into this new role. And we know that this new role is a significant change to our policing here in the Northern Territory. It will free up our constables to be able to go and do those crime investigations, responding to 000 calls. It will allow them the opportunity to be doing that work whilst we have a separate stream of police doing that public-facing important work. And while our transit officers and our housing officers have been doing a great job, they, by their very nature, are very limited in what they can do. And so by bringing this coordinated approach in, we're going to have a far stronger response. And so we were able to brief members of the opposition and independents yesterday who sought a briefing as I said, it's a very straightforward piece of legislation. It's just that precondition to be able to do that next really important tranche of work. And we look forward to passing it today so that next week we can sit down and commence that important next steps and move towards that time frame so that in the first half of next year, we're graduating our first tranche of police public safety officers. And again, this is not a reinvention of the wheel. Other jurisdictions have PPSOs, and we know it's going to make a huge impact in frontline policing and community safety for Territorians.